spread by mosquitoes and apparently through sexual contact.
In the U.S., we have seen 107 cases so far of Zika virus, mostly among people who had recently traveled to South America.
Now, mosquitoes have not spread the virus in the U.S. People returning from somewhere else and even sexual contact, yes, not by mosquitoes so far. But experts fear that could soon change.
Our Andrew Hasbin has more on the war against Zika and the particular mosquito that carries that virus.
The images are heartbreaking. Babies born with small, underdeveloped heads. Experts suspect the spreading virus, which is already prevalent in some parts of South and Latin America, and likely headed to the valley too.
I think we should always be concerned about the potential of having a new disease.
Susan HOLECHEK with ASU's BIODESIGN Institute is one of many researchers following the virus. She says Zika is part of a family of viruses commonly spread by mosquitoes. But Zika is different.
What it makes Zika different is the mode of transmission. Okay, we have never seen before a flavivirus that's transmitted sexually.
In the U.S., more than a dozen cases have been blamed on sexual contact. We haven't seen Zika in the valley yet, but the mosquito that carries it has been feasting on us for more than a decade. Meet the Aedes aegypti mosquito, first spotted in the valley in the early 2000s. They bite during the day and can transmit dengue virus and now also the Zika virus. This mosquito's population explodes in the summer months.
Now we tell people if you're getting bit by Aedes aegypti in your backyard, 9 times out of 10 it's coming from your backyard. You're breeding it in your backyard.
The culprit? Standing water. It doesn't take very much. Even just one capful of standing water is enough to create a mosquito breeding ground.
There's so many breeding sites in just a regular normal neighborhood that you can't, it's almost impossible to keep up with all of it.
But they try, and the battle starts with mosquito traps set up all over the valley. This map shows one in nearly every neighborhood. Workers pick up the traps and bring them here, Vector Control's laboratory, where the traps are emptied and the type of mosquito identified.
Looks like a male culex and a few females.
The mosquitoes are then placed in small tubes and turned into mush. From here, lab workers are able to extract the insect's DNA and test for viruses.
Anything that starts to creep up over this threshold right here in the middle, that's going to be considered a positive.
When there's a positive, that's when Vector Control uses a mosquito-killing fog in the area where the infected mosquito was found.
They're kind of harder to kill because they're in people's backyards.
That's why getting rid of their breeding spots is so important.
People shouldn't be frightened, but they should be cautious.
Dr. Sean Chen, also with ASU's BioDesign Institute, feels a major Zika outbreak in the U.S. is unlikely, thanks to all the efforts we take to prevent mosquito bites.
The chance of we get bitten by mosquitoes is way less. We also live not as crowded as in some urban areas of Brazil, for example, so that we do not have that kind of close contact between people to people, and we are better protected in our houses against mosquitoes.
Zika causes only flu-like symptoms for most people, but the threat to pregnant women is what has health experts working overtime. Dr. HOLECHEK will soon head to Ecuador, part of a team trying to understand and hopefully find ways to fight the spread of Zika.
This is a disease that you cannot just work on your own. You need to talk to other people to learn about their point of view and then unite efforts. You cannot do this on your own.
Pregnant women and potential mothers are counting on them. In Brazil, where Zika is now prevalent, more than 4,000 babies have been born just since last fall with the condition linked to Zika. In 2014, there were only 147. I'm Andrew Hasbin, Fox 10 News.
The CDC is urging pregnant women to postpone travel plans to Zika-affected areas, and the number of areas affected by this are growing. By the way, we have information on how to get rid of backyard mosquitoes on our website. You can go there, fox10phoenix.com.
This is